Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttama Sloke
Bhagavate Uttama Shloke
Bhaktin Bhavatir Naistiki
Bhaktin Bhavati Naistiti
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, text number 18. The canto name is The Cosmic Manifestation and the chapter name is The Cause of All Causes. Please repeat the sloka behind me. Sattvam rajas tamo iti nirguṇasya guṇās trayaḥ sthiti-sarga-nirodheṣu gṛhītā māyayā vibhoḥ.
gṛhītā
māyayā vibhoḥ.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Sattvam,
sattvam,
the mode of goodness.
the mode of
Rajaḥ,
rajaḥ,
the mode of passion.
the mode of passion.
Tamaḥ,
Tama,
the mode of ignorance.
the mode of ignorance.
Iti, all these.
All this.
Nirguṇasya,
Nirguṇasya,
of the transcendence.
of the transcendence.
Trayaḥ,
guṇāḥ,
or three qualities.
or three qualities.
Sthiti,
Sthiti,
maintenance.
maintenance.
Sarga,
Sarga,
creation.
nirodheṣu,
In destruction.
in destruction.
Gṛhītāḥ,
gṛhītā,
accepted.
accepted.
Māyayā,
Māyayā,
by the external energy.
by the energy.
Vibhoḥ,
Vibhoḥ,
of the Supreme.
of the
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanavande Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Translation, please repeat behind me. The Supreme Lord is pure,
The Supreme Lord is pure,
spiritual form,
spiritual form,
transcendental to all material qualities.
transcendental to all material qualities.
Yet for the sake of the creation
Yet for the sake of the creation
of the material world
of the material world
and its maintenance and annihilation,
and its maintenance and annihilation,
He accepts through His external energy
he accepts through the external energy
the material modes of nature called
the material modes of nature called
goodness, passion, and ignorance.
goodness, passion,
and ignorance.
Purport. The Supreme Lord is the master of the external energy manifested by the three material modes, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. And as master of this energy, he is ever unaffected by the influence of such bewildering energy. The living entities, the jīvas, however, are affected by or susceptible to being influenced by such modes of material nature. This is the difference between the Lord and the living entities. The living entities are subjected by those qualities, although originally the living entities are qualitatively one with the Lord. In other words, the material modes of the nature, being products of the energy of the Lord, are certainly connected with the Lord. But the connection is just like the between just like that between the master and the servants. The Supreme Lord is the controller of the material energy, whereas the living entities who are entangled in the material world are neither masters nor controllers. Rather, they become subordinate or controlled by such energy. Factually, the Lord is eternally manifested by his internal potency or spiritual energy, just like the sun and its rays in the clear sky. But at times, he creates the material energy as the sun creates a cloud in the clear sky. As the sun is ever increasingly unaffected by the spot of cloud, so also the unlimited Lord is unaffected by the spot of material energy manifested at times in the unlimited span of the Lord's rays of brahmajyoti. Om Dasa. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्लुमिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पाशाशदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। This is the continuation. Brahma and Narada discussing. In that, Narada was asking the questions and Brahma is giving the answer. So now Brahma, he already declared that he is not a creator, he is a secondary creator, and Lord is the supreme creator. So even Brahma also created by the Supreme Lord. That's the previous sloka we discussed. And today's sloka, again, Brahma is explaining that the Supreme Lord is pure. He's saying that the Supreme Lord is pure in his spiritual form. And he is transcendental to all the material qualities. So what are the material qualities? There are three modes of material nature are there, which are goodness, passion, and ignorance. So Lord is controller of these material qualities, and he never been affected by these material qualities. So that is the reason Prabhupada explaining in the purport, he is saying that it is the relation between this material qualities and the Lord is like a master and the servant. So all these material qualities are servant of the Lord. So the servants are controlled by so Lord is the controller of this servant. So Lord is the controller and our Lord is the master, and all these material qualities are controllers. When a living entity enters this material world, immediately it will get affected by these three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. In the Vedic culture time, so this in Kali Yuga, who are all born in this material world, they are all by birth they are all in the mode of ignorance only, because they don't have, by birth there is no knowledge with them, and even their parents also didn't have any knowledge. So they are born in ignorance. So they are born for ignorant parents, and they are also in the ignorance. But in the Vedic time, was not like that. Vedic time, the Garbhadana samskara, there is a Garbhadana samskara is there. So if any parents, they wanted to beget their children, so they have to follow certain procedures, and they have to, then they can beget the children. So it is said that in the scriptures, if you are not able to give the Vedic knowledge, and you are not able to give the how to get out of this material world and liberation, how to get the liberation. If you are not able to give to your child, better don't beget a child. So this is the way the Vedic injunctions are there. So the importance of a human birth is to go out of this material world to get the liberation. So if your parents, if you are not able to give that knowledge to their child, better not to beget a children. So that is the way the Vedic injunctions are. So in the Vedic culture time, the parents, if they wanted to get the child, so the child is only, they wanted to become, they need to give the proper knowledge when the child the womb itself. So we heard that Prahlad Maharaj story. So the Prahlad Maharaj, when Prahlad Maharaj passed time, the Prahlad Maharaj's mother, she was at Narada Muni's hut when she was staying there. That time, Narada Muni used to give the knowledge about the Supreme Lord to Kayadu, who was Prahlad Maharaj's mother. So he was giving all the knowledge, and Prahlad Maharaj, who was in the womb of Kayadu, he used to hear those knowledge, And because even though Prahlad Maharaj, he was born in the Asura Kula, he is the son of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is the great Asura. He was a great Asura. What he did, he declared that he conquered all the three worlds, and he declared that I am the Supreme Lord. So the people need to worship me. I am the enemy for Vishnu. My aim is to kill Vishnu. That is his declaration. So even though the Gurukulas everywhere, the people used to, the gurus, all the gurus, they used to give knowledge about Hiranyakashipu only. And Hiranyakashipu statue only they used to keep, and they used to talk, they used to give the knowledge about the Asurakula knowledge only. So in that situation also, even though he is born in that, Prahlad Maharaj born in this situation, but when he was in the womb of his mother, he heard about the Supreme Lord. So once he born, after that, immediately he was always in the mode of transcendental. He never affected by these material modes, and whatever his father gave the troubles to him. Yes, the Hiranyakashipu, he wanted all of his prajas in his country to follow his instructions only. But his own son, he was not following his instruction because he is not worshipping him as a supreme lord. He said that you are not a supreme lord. My supreme lord is a controller of everything. He cannot have the you cannot be a supreme lord. Supreme lord is only one. So like that, he was giving the knowledge to his father. So he was offended, and he was trying to kill in many ways. But all these troubles he never affected. The Prahlad Maharaj got never affected. And he never asked Supreme Lord also, Supreme Lord, oh Lord, please protect me. He never asked that also. He was all the situation, he was accepted, and sometimes he put in the inside of the snakes, the rooms full of snakes, inside of that, the poisonous snakes, inside that, they put the Prahlad Maharaj. But he became victorious. Oh, no snakes cutting him, because he was always chanting the holy name of the Lord. That's all. He never afraid of the snakes, and he was not affected by the situation also. He was always chanting the holy name of the Lord. And they tried to throw him from the cliff of the mountain. He was not affected. He was chanting the holy name of the Lord. And Hiranyakashipu's sister, he tried to kept him in his lap, and he tried to put a fire, because he got the wound that she won't burn by the fire from the Agni. So she got the boon. So because of that, she tried to burn him, because she won't burn. Only the person who is associated with her, that person will burn. So she thought in that way. So Hiranyakashipu arranged for that, and they put a fire. But what happened? Prahlad Maharaj, means surprisingly, Prahlad Maharaj not affected by the fire. That Hiranyakashipu's sister, she burned by the fire. So that is the power of the holy name of the Lord. And when the person is following, that's the reason the person who are all we wanted to beget children, they have to follow the Garbhadana Samskara, which is specified in our scriptures. If they follow the person who is born out of that, because once we follow the Garbhadana Samskara, the Lord will automatically there is a great devotee will born in the womb. That is the Vedic literatures are saying in that way. So that is the reason. So who are all born out of this material world currently, all are born as ignorant persons. Nobody are coming with the knowledge. But if the person if the parents, if they are following the scriptures, if they are following their devotees, and if they are following the Garbhadana Samskara, definitely that child will be born it won't born in the mode of ignorance, it will born with some knowledge, like Prahlad Maharaj. So there are so many examples in the scriptures. And even Prahlad Maharaj is saying that at the age of 5 onwards, you have to give the scriptural knowledge to your children. But unfortunately, we are not giving the scriptural knowledge. We are not able to give the scriptural knowledge because, and also our children are also affected by this so many environmental. They are going to school. They are mixed with the materialistic other students. So their mind also getting attracted to the material nature. That is the quality of the material nature. Material nature, which is called māyayā, the illusion, it is so attractive. So it will automatically take away all of our intelligence. So that is the quality of the Maya, the illusion. And also we are also controlled by these three modes of nature: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. So the mode of goodness, even the mode of goodness also, the Lord is saying in Bhagavad Gita in 14.5. So in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord widely explained about these three modes of nature. So here in 14.5, Lord is saying that sattvam rajas tamo iti guna prakriti sambhavaha navatnanti mahabaho dehi nam avyayam. So Krishna is saying material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entities comes into contact with this nature, oh mighty and Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So Krishna is clearly stating that when we will get the contact with the material modes, once we touch this material world, once we come out from this womb of our mother, then automatically we will affected by these three modes of material nature. So then these three modes of material nature will control us. But Lord is not controlled by the three modes of material nature. And in 3.27, the third chapter, Krishna is saying, Prakritiye kriyamanani gunakarmani sarvasaha akangara vimudatma kattaham iti manyate. So Krishna is saying that the spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinking himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. So this is also one of the knowledge for us. So we are thinking that we are doing this activity, we are doing whatever the activities we are doing in this material world, we are doing. Whether it is a good or bad, we are doing. But we are not the doers. This, because of the influence of these three modes of material nature, we are doing this good or bad activities in this material world. So Krishna clearly explaining that. So because of the influence of false ego, we are the false ego. I am the doer. That is the false ego. But actually, we are not the doers. Krishna clearly is explaining that the three modes of material nature, it is making us to do that. So that's the reason we are not the doers. So this is also one of the knowledge we can get from Bhagavad Gita. Many of the people who don't know Bhagavad Gita, they don't know all those modes of material nature. And if at least we are not able to come out of these material natures, but we are able to just realize small realization we can have, like currently in which mode. If we are getting anger, then we can understand I am getting into the mode of ignorance. And if we are trying to work more and trying to earn more, if you are getting into the attracted by the money and all those things, then you can understand that I am getting into the mode of passion. And when you are feeling that, okay, let me do some seva, let me read some scriptures, let me do some devotional activities. In that mode, if you are coming, let me do some service to the society. Let me do some service to the orphanage people and old age people. So when you get into that mode, that is the mode of goodness. But all these three, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance, all these three modes, what it will do, it will bind us in this material world. It won't. It will again and again we will get binding in this material world. So how can we bind with this material world? We are, even though if we are okay, ignorance we can understand, passion we can understand, it will bind us. But how can we say that goodness also bind us? Yes, goodness also binding with us, binding us in this material world. How? If you are trying to do some help to the orphanage people, so you are some poor people, you are giving help, you are feeding them, you are giving dresses, you are giving money. So that is the punya karma. So whenever you are doing the punya karma, that punya also you need to gain, and to release that punya also, to clear that punya also, you have to take a birth again this material world. So whenever we are taking this material world, that means we are binded by these three modes of nature. So that is the reason, even though you are doing some in the mode of goodness, you are doing some activities, you will be born in this material world. So then what is the solution? So on 7.14, Krishna again saying, Daivihesha gunamayi mama maya duratya mam eva ye prapatyante Mayam etam tarantite. So Krishna is saying that this divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So this is the answer for that, how to cross over these three modes of material nature. Krishna himself is giving in Bhagavad Gita. And also he is saying that this divine energy consists of three modes of material nature. It is my energies. So all these energies are Lord's energies. So if it is a third party, other energies, we can say that it can be overcome. But these are all coming from the Lord. These are all the Lord's subordinates. So it is Lord himself is saying that it is difficult to overcome for you. So how can we overcome? By surrender unto me. That means by surrender to the Supreme Lord, we can easily cross beyond it. That's what Krishna is saying there. So the only way to cross over these three modes of material nature is to surrender to the Supreme Lord. So surrenderness is get free from this material modes. So like this, today this is the multiple ways Lord is giving us this knowledge. There are so many slokas Krishna talked about three modes of material nature, because that is binding us in this material world. We are taking birth again and again in this material world. So every day we are affected by these three modes of nature. This three modes, we cannot stay in the single mode. Every minute, this mode of nature will change. Sometimes we will be in the good. Once we wake up in the morning, we will be in the goodness. Once we go into the office, we will be in the mode of passion. Because we will work, I need to get a hike, I need to get a promotion, like that. I need to get the name and fame. That is a mode of passion. So when we go into the office, then we will get into that mode. And once we come out from the office in the evening, we will be tired. All of our energy gone out the office itself. Then we'll be tired. We'll feel that we feel in the evening. Anybody felt that, okay, let me do some chanting, let me go to the temple, let me do some devotional activities. Yes, we already trained in the office. So we feel that, let me go to the bed, let me take some rest. So that is when we go to the bed, that is the mode of ignorance. We are getting into the mode of ignorance. So this mode of all these three modes always will be there in every day in the day-to-day activities. We are controlled by these three modes. Our mind will be flickering and it will be changing every minute. Not only every minute, sometimes every second also it will change. We will be in the mode of goodness. Sometimes immediately our child will do some mischiefs. They broke something, immediately we will get anger. So immediately our mood, even though we are in the good mode of goodness, within a second it will shift to mode of ignorance. So when you get the anger, that is a mode of ignorance. So immediately it will go. So this is the way our mood will be, our mind will be controlled by these three modes, and it will be changing very frequently. So that is the reason we are chanting the holy name of the Lord in the morning, and we are reading the scriptures. We are understanding that, okay, this is why we are discussing all these scriptures and all this understanding, to come to the conclusion, or satisfy ourselves that we got some knowledge of the scriptural knowledge, and we are affected people. First of all, we need to understand that we are the deceased person, we are the victim. We are victim of these three modes of nature. We are thinking that, okay, we are following the I'm doing good thing in this world. I'm not thinking away. I'm not feeling greedy about money, and I'm also not in the ignorant person. I'm not drinking. I'm not taking liquor or smoking. I'm not doing. I'm a good person. If you think in that way, that is also we are in the mode of goodness only. So we cannot come out from the mode of goodness until unless we catch hold of the devotional activities. So what are the devotional activities we can do to come out of these three modes of material nature? Because God is saying that surrender to me, so that you can easily cross beyond this material modes of nature. So what is beyond this material mode of nature? That is called Shuddha Sattva. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. That is Sattva, Raja, Tama, guṇās. Above that, there is a Shuddha Sattva stage. That is the transcendental nature of the Lord. That is the Lord's nature actually. When we are doing the devotional activities, we are connected with the Lord. So the Lord's transcendental nature is, we are imbibing that nature. So that is, we are going beyond this three modes of nature. So when we are practicing that regularly, so we can avoid this controlled by these three modes of nature. We can come out of these three modes of nature. Only Lord in this material world and the pure devotees of the Lord are not controlled by this material world. All the others are controlled by this three material modes of nature. So when we surrender to the Lord, when we do the devotional activities, then automatically we will come out of this material mode of material modes, and we will be free from it, and we can think about the devotional activities, and we can think about how to liberate from this material world, not to take birth again. So that should be our actual goal. Every day we are discussing, at the end we are saying that we have to go out of this material world. That should be our goal. Again, I don't want to born. Nobody will willing to take birth again, again go to school, again get married, again get job, again all these problems, get into these problems. No, nobody will like in this material world. Even the person born in Ambani's house also, they also, even though they may not have the money problem, but they may have their own other relatives problem and their own body problem. Everything is there. So nobody in this material world free from any problems. So that's what there are three kind of glaciers. Our own body will give the problem to us, and surrounding other living entities, our neighbors, or even a small mosquito also give the problem to us, and the natural disaster. The natural disaster like cyclone, rain, summer, winter, all those natural calamities, that also will give the earthquake. This all give the problem to us. So nobody can say that I am always happy in this material world. It is not at all possible. Because Krishna himself is declaring that you are bound by these three modes of material nature. So you have to go through all these problems. And these three kleshas also, you will controlled by these three kleshas also. So it is not very easy to come out. The only way to get into the devotional surrender to the Supreme Lord. That's what Krishna also giving directly gives. This knowledge is openly visible to all of us. So just surrender to me. You can easily cross over this, cross beyond it. Yeah, cross beyond it. That's what Krishna is saying that. So it is very easy also, but consistency is an important thing. Consistency is difficult. One time we will do, and next time we will be bored, because we are not self-motivated people, and we need somebody else to motivate us. So that is the reason association of devotees. We are getting into the association of like-minded people. We are getting together, even though we are feeling some lowness in us, we are feeling low. Then by seeing the other devotee, by what the austerities they are following, what they read, what they are doing as service, by hearing that we will get some little enthusiasm, and like hearing such the lectures about the Supreme Lord and about our nature, everything, then we can understand, okay, oh, I am bounded by this material nature. I should come out from that. So what is the way? Lord giving the way is that do the devotional activities. So what are the devotional activities we can do daily? We wake up in the early morning, do the chanting the holy name of the Lord, which is the Yuga Dharma. That is the only way take us to go out of this material world. And why we are discussing this Bhagavatam? To make our faith on the Supreme Lord more strong, and so that we can consciously concentrate how we are chanting the holy name of the Lord. Because holy name of the Lord is the Yuga Dharma. In this Kali Yuga, chanting the holy name of the Lord is the Yuga Dharma. To follow that, to make it firmly to chant the holy name of the Lord, because just in the name, for the name's sake, our mouth is saying the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Only the mouth is saying, and our mind is, okay, what I have to do in my office, what is my office spending, what is the bank work is spending, what my child work is spending, what is I have to prepare the kitchen today. So all this, our mind will go in that way. Only our mouth is saying, mechanically it will say it will chant the holy name of the Lord, but it won't work. You may be complete the rounds, but it won't work. So why we are discussing the Supreme Lord and his activities through Bhagavatam? So to make the faith and to make ourselves to concentrate more on the holy name of the Lord. So that is the only solution, only medicine to come out of this material nature and go out of this material world also. So chanting the holy name of the Lord is the first one. Then do the devotional service whenever you get time. No, don't miss any opportunity, because opportunity may come at any point of time or by through any devotee. So don't miss any opportunity because of your ignorance. Whenever you get a chance, get into that and do the devotional service and get the blessing of the Supreme Lord, so that we can go out of this material world. That should be our goal of life. So today's sloga, we discuss three modes of nature that is binding us in this material world, but the Supreme Lord is not bounded by them. So he can relieve us from this material, this binding of this material modes, and we can, once we surrender to the Supreme Lord, we can go beyond it. That is that we learned today. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.